welcome back to Kenny and Rio. I'm Kenny.
And I'm Rio.
And this is another conversation that we're having today. Today is a little bit different because we're talking about our food journey and specifically relating to our plant-based journey.
Right. Plant-based journey.
Plant-based
Plant-based
journey. Almost.
Yeah. So, alright, as you all know, well, maybe you don't know, maybe you do, we have been plant-based for about 6-7 years now. Yeah, we're still rocking and rolling with it.
I said plant-based too. I mean, okay, so we've been several things. I say right now we're more on the vegetarian side of life.
Yeah.
Basically, this is kind of a video or a conversation that you know, kind of our journey between we grew up eating meat, both of us.
Yeah, we both grew up eating meat. Traditional black households, you know, soul food, all that good stuff. Macaroni and cheese, deviled eggs, turkey for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Ham on the side with a little pineapple, little thing on the top, you know what I'm saying?
Top tier ham sandwich after Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Is top tier.
Unbeaten.
When we first transitioned, at that time we went cold vegan, completely
straight vegan.
Straight vegan.
That was about 6-7 years ago.
We were first meat eaters from birth to
the 20 teens.
To the 20 teens, right in there. Then from there, we went to being completely vegan. There, we went into being more alkaline.
Right.
Vegan. Then we dabbled into being a little bit raw vegan. We were alkaline and half raw for a while. After that, we kind of went back to regular vegan again, and then now I'd say we're basically vegetarian because sometimes we eat eggs, sometimes we eat cheese.
We generally try to avoid those ingredients. Eating is not just for getting your nutrients and all of that stuff. It's also a very social thing. People eat together, people do business while they're eating together, people have critical conversations with each other when they're eating. So it's like, if you cut out those ingredients, then you won't be able to share in those social circles and in those conversations. You gotta have a little give with it, you know?
And two, I feel like I've already learned by going through all the different stages of transitioning to eating more plants, I already learned how to be disciplined if I choose to only do a raw vegan diet. Like I can, like, we already have the mindset and the experience, I guess, of being strict when we want to be strict. Right. Which is why oftentimes, like for us, okay, example, if we eat too much like cheese, right? Our skin breaks out immediately. Yeah. I have eczema and it'll come back.
I got a pimple on my face right now. We need a lot of cheese lately.
Like he'll get a pimple, I'll get an eczema, and we'll be like, oh. And then after that, we'll take a hard break, which is like the discipline that comes in that you learn from switching over your habits for the eating. So
what I would say is that, like, since we've transitioned, we've learned a lot about how food correlates with physical, mental, and emotional health. A lot of times, before I transitioned into being plant-based, you know, I would have all kind of things happening to me, and I was like, why is this happening to me? I have a headache. Oh my God, you know, or I'd have a stomach ache or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Oh my God. Or I'd be constipated. I can't poop. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? And I would just be wondering, like, why are all these things happening to me? You grow up thinking, oh, people have different genes, DNA, and this is why people are predisposed to certain diseases or certain genetic predispositions to certain conditions and all that other stuff. And it's like, oh, okay. I guess my DNA is just built for me to have headaches and constipation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. You know, I thought that for a little minute. But then once we transitioned into being plant-based, a lot of the things that I dealt with growing up in my past that were like headaches for me, they ended up going away. I didn't have as many pimples on my face. I did not get as many headaches. I rarely get headaches at all, really, anymore. And I'm not constipated anymore. Like that never happened. Going into being plant-based, I feel like I learned a lot about what foods are correlating with what physical statuses I'm experiencing. So then we started tracking it. You know, we started looking up, okay, well, what does cheese do to us? So we started eating more cheese, and all of a sudden we started seeing more and more pimples. Going into our plant-based journey has really informed me, or both of us, as to what foods are doing what to our body specifically.
That, and also the reverse of, if I want to feel a certain way, what should I eat?
Right.
I feel like I understand now when I feel like I'm lacking something, even emotionally. my emotions were like controlled by the food I was eating.
Yeah.
And that was like, like what? Because it was just, you know, a sandwich. It was just a burger.
You're not eating anything. You don't think you're eating something that's going to contribute to you having mood swings or being angry or frustrated or irritated and stuff like that. But it does. You could eat something and then a few hours later you'll feel irritation. You can feel irritation depending on what you eat. And I used to think, oh, I'm just irritated, you know, 3 hours after I ate. But no, it's like the food digests, goes through the process that it has to go through in order to get processed all the way. And then your body responds with either mucus or like some sort of irritation in your bowels and all kinds of different things.
Mucus.
That was a big one. Mucus is a huge one that I didn't even know correlated with food.
On the topic of mucus, I like challenge you, even if you don't even want to be a vegetarian or vegan or whatever, I don't even care. Just test it out and see if you stop eating like dairy or something for like a week. Just see if like your sinuses clear up.
Yeah, see, count how many times you blow your nose throughout the day and then stop eating dairy and then see if you blow your nose the same amount.
Literally, right now, I'm a little bit stuffed up, but I've been eating cheese pizza. I had like macaroni and things. And so, while those things are delicious in flavor, can't deny that, I feel it every time I choose to not basically be alkaline, really.
Yeah,
I'm not promoting alkaline.
Yeah, those things do come with a sacrifice, for sure. I would say that, like, we weren't able to tell these things going vegan, but once we went alkaline, that's when all the symptoms started clearing up.
Yeah.
And I used to do this, like, this nose thing. I used to do that all the time. And my mom used to be pissed at me all the time for even doing it. She's like, stop making that sound. And I'm like, I can't. And I would wonder myself. Like one day I just woke up and I was just making that sound all the time and I just couldn't stop it. Yeah. So I just went on throughout my life for years, over a decade, just thinking, oh, that's just what I do, you know. And then I went alkaline and then it cleared up. It's completely stopped.
It was the weirdest thing.
Weirdest thing. I'm
because
like, oh my God.
It just was it was just like a freckle on his face. It just was. He just made that sound every so often. And you'd be like, what is that?
Yeah.
It was mucus.
It was mucus the entire time. So then we stopped eating alkaline and then we went back to like more cheese and adding butter and dairy and mayonnaise and stuff like that to our meals. And then like once I ate too much of it, then I'll be doing it more and more.
It sounds so weird.
And no, it does. And so then we recognized like, oh, those foods are causing mucus in the back of my throat, in the back of my nose, to where I feel like I need to, in order to stop it from falling down my throat. And that's why I'm making that noise. And that's when I realized.
I'm sorry, the description is.
It sounds
trifling.
disgusting.
It sounds so gross.
It sounds disgusting, but that's so true. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. That what it is pushing that mucus back up so it doesn't just fall down the back of my throat, because you know your nose and your throat are connected. It's like it literally goes like that. Yeah. That I know. That's the loudest thing.
It just don't sound good to like. The description of you know, it's okay.
No, it's for sure.
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. As a matter of fact, she has some things that cleared up for her too.
Yeah, my skin is clear. I get eczema usually like in my I call this my elbow pit. I don't know what you guys call it, but
I've never heard that before. Elbow pit. That's interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like an armpit, but it's in your elbow.
Elbow pit. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a proper term for this right now. I don't know. I used to get eczema right here. On my neck, right in here, under my armpits, like my hip bones, and like behind my knees, right?
And the creases.
Any crease that I had, it was like not really on my back here, but like most creases, right? And it hurt. Like, I mean, it would be like my arms would feel like inflamed and itchy and almost bleeding, you know? Because it would just itch and I would try not to scratch it. I had to get like ointments for it and like for years I would like cry because like after a while your skin's just open, you know, and kind of raw. And so we just said, oh, she has allergies, you know. My mom would give me like some type of medicine for it. I was like, let's keep it moving, basically, you know, like try to heal it, but like it's life.
That's what you grow up doing,
you know. But then we tried to be alkaline, which mind you, like I don't think I even knew really any vegetarians growing up, except for like some people like tried it for like a week, or they would be like, I'm pescatarian now, and they were like, you know, they would try it. Even in college, most people were not vegetarian that I knew. unless it was like a cultural difference or there was a reason typically. I felt like pioneers of our circle because it was like weird to people.
Yeah.
It was like they did not understand. They were like, yesterday you ate chicken wings, today you don't eat chicken wings.
So now you don't eat chicken wings?
Why?
Yeah, that's suspect.
That's weird. And so we go to people's houses and now they're like, I didn't even know what to feed you.
Yeah. And because like we went cold turkey, it was like a hard transition, like a hard cutoff.
Didn't warn anybody.
Didn't tell nobody. All of a sudden we were just like, yep, we're not eating meat. That's it. We're not eating cheese or dairy or meat or butter or like all that. We cut all that stuff out. And
mind you too, it's probably so funny because we like just got together.
Yeah, we had just got together too. Like we separately, individually, we were not
doing this by
ourselves. We got together and then all of a sudden we stopped eating meat. Our families are probably looking at us like, what are they doing?
Who is this that got you changing?
All of a sudden, you don't eat meat because you were her? Or?
Yeah. That's what I felt like. Looked at us like, okay, you got a man, now you're going to be like, I don't eat that either.
You're going to change up.
Yeah. I switched all the way up. And I did.
Yeah. But I mean, we switched just, because we just felt like it would be a better thing for us to do as a couple, And so we ended up switching, and then we took out all those things. So then we had to stop. We stopped going over families' houses for eating, for real. We stopped eating over our family's house. We stopped going out to dinner to places because no places had vegan or vegetarian options at all. And if they did, it was like a black bean third party patty that they ended up heating up in the microwave.
Maybe.
It was just
when we started eating. Imagine before us when we started eating
before us.
Basically, back then it was more vegan, right?
Yeah, there were no plant-based meats. There was no Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat. There was no.
They had some, but they were like trash.
Yeah, they weren't.
Okay, so they had like Boca burgers back then. Did they even
still
make Boca burgers?
or Boca like Morningstar stuff.
But those a little bit Morningstar.
Those weren't like that great back in the day, for real. And
now they're much better.
Yeah. Now the plant-based options, they taste just like burgers, just like sausage, just like they taste just like the stuff.
Easy now. I think now it's fairly easy to be vegan or vegetarian now because you can walk into most restaurants and get more than a salad.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we used to get all the time. Before, we used to get salad and fries. And we would just eat those out every time. Y'all got salad? I know y'all got salad. Y'all got fries? Y'all gotta have fries.
Right?
Yeah, I know y'all got fries.
Or you have chips?
Yeah.
Okay,
you got chips? I can do that. And that's what we would do. And we would always leave restaurants feeling so unfulfilled. Feeling hungry. We're like, why are we even going out? We go into this whole restaurant, spend money on these dishes, so-called.
Or go to a family dinner.
Go to a family dinner or at a restaurant or something like that. And then we're not even fulfilled.
Everybody's eating good. They're eating really big old steak on their plate.
I'm just like...
And we're sitting here eating like, can I have a piece of lettuce?
Can I
some porridge, please?
Piece of lettuce.
But now, it's easier. So I guess what we can do with this video is let you all know
how we transitioned.
Yeah. But maybe even more so what we would do now.
Yeah. Or just like
times are different.
Or just like even pros and cons, because I would say like the pros and cons of like being or transitioning and being plant-based. One of the pros I would definitely say is that I sleep a lot better.
Hard.
I sleep hard. The first day I stopped, the first week I stopped eating meat, I was like slobbering on my pillows. I was like all of that, and I was like, oh my God, I could sleep like this.
Yeah.
And I would be restless in the middle of the night all the time. But when I started
eating, you didn't used to sleep.
Did,
but not like.
I wouldn't feel rested after I slept. But now, being plant-based, I get very good sleep. The mucus, I have way less mucus now because I cut out dairy and I cut out meat out of my diet, so I'm not as built up in my throat and in the back of my nose with mucus anymore.
I guess we didn't cut out dairy, but
I mean at the beginning we did.
At the beginning we went a couple years without
none of it.
Anything. We were just alkaline.
Yeah.
And I would say I am still interested in going back to being alkaline, at least maybe 70-80%.
Yeah.
Which we are. Sometimes it depends on kind of the week, really.
Yeah, it's just such a restrictive diet. It's like if you're gonna do, is what I think. I feel like you could go alkaline at home, but when you go out in public, you can't go alkaline unless you go to like a specifically alkaline restaurant, which is not that many. There's places here in Atlanta that have alkaline options.
Yeah.
But if you're not in a big city, forget about it. They're not gonna have alkaline restaurants, alkaline options, or even alkaline anything for real like that.
Yeah.
But so I feel like being alkaline at home is easier. Cool. And it's cool, but out in public where you go, go to social gatherings, meet up with your friends, your family and stuff like that, that's where we like kind of switch harder into the vegetarian side of things, because like you go to a birthday party, there's egg in the cake, there's milk in the cake, there's butter in the cake, you know what I'm saying? So like now I can't partake in the birthday festivities. It's like you gotta make some sacrifices. Your
family has to, like, they're trying to feed you too.
Yeah.
So.
And they want to. And it's a good thing. Your family should want to feed you, you know? They want to give you a home cooked meal.
They understand what you should eat. And so, your granny, she held it down for a while. She would make us
She made some nice little salad.
She was like, "Oh, you don't eat meat? No. I have lettuce. I have potatoes.
I got fried potatoes and onions," but she used to cook all the time when I was younger. So she's like, "Oh, that's clear." I was like, "Yeah, that's clear. Ain't got no meat in it. Let's get it.
It's so good.
Let's get it popping."
She's probably watching this one. Hey.
So good. So another one of the pros that I would say going vegan, vegetarian, alkaline is that you have to pay more attention to your dietary supplements. You have to look more into your macros and your micronutrients. And what those are is like proteins, fats, and carbohydrates is going to be the macronutrients. And then everything else, like all your vitamins, minerals, and all that other stuff is going to be your micronutrients. When you eat meat, you don't really pay attention to those things for real, because it's like, oh, I just get everything I need. But when you go plant-based, you have to pay attention, because everything that you need isn't just like in one thing. You have to make sure that you're intentionally getting iron. You have to intentionally get B12. You have to intentionally get calcium. You have to intentionally get protein. You have to make sure you're intentional about your macronutrients and your micronutrients.
And you have to understand why you need each of those things. Like, exactly. For example, if I don't have iron, I'm very sleepy. Mm-hmm. I'm very cold. Same with B12.
Yeah.
When I don't get it, I'm uncomfortable, and you can tell, like, I can't get as much done during the day.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, some people would say, if you feel that way, why not just eat meat? I tried to eat meat again.
We did try to eat it.
I hated it.
And
I don't know what happened. I used to kill a burger. I used to love it. Yeah. I tried to eat it again.
And
I felt awful.
My stomach was twisting and turning. It was like,
meals that I had before and I thought was
crazy.
Amazing. I tried again after not eating meat for a couple of years, just to see, like, okay, was it a phase? Will I feel better? Will I feel more energy if I eat this? It was not good, you guys.
No, it wasn't. It was. It's crazy. If you stop eating meat for about 3 weeks and then you try to go back to it, then
your stomach's
gonna be pissed with you. Like, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel whatever was happening when you was eating meat that was, I guess, you was numb to. Like, you're gonna feel the full throttle effect of what it does to you when you stop eating for like 3 weeks and then try to go back to it. And it's gonna turn you off. It's gonna turn you off. You're gonna eat it and you'll be like,
it's like, what is that?
Yeah, it's like, why is it doing all this now? You know what I'm saying? And it makes you think, like, was it doing it before? And I just got used to it. You know what I'm saying? And like, and then
probably.
Yeah, more than likely.
As an adult, when I tried it, I couldn't even finish the meal, y'all.
It was like, and not sick to your stomach as in like mentally you have an image and it's just disgusting. Like, no, like literally the stomach was like pushing it out of me. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it felt like. And I was just like,
and I eat food. Like, I'm not like shy about eating. I'm not like someone who will take just a plate and just like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
No, like, I eat, and I was like, oh, this should be fine. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
And the crazy thing is that, like, sometimes people come up to us and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm cooking meat or whatever, and we're like, we're not offended. It still smells good. Every time somebody makes a steak, I used to kill a steak. I used to go to Longhorn and They used to kill the steak all the time.
Yeah.
And now, like, people cook it and they're like, oh, I'm sorry for the smells and all that other stuff. I'm like, no, it smells delightful. It smells delicious. But eating it is like a whole different story.
So I guess a con would be, one con, I guess we kind of named it, but like just listing it as a con, is navigating family relationships when you change your dynamic. Because it seems like a lot of cultures have meat at the center of their meal.
Yeah,
and
that's a big thing.
And it can sometimes seem rude if you don't eat it.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about, how to navigate that. It makes you realize that you have to eat before you go places sometimes.
Yeah.
To bring snacks. Like, we know how to feel comfortable so much now that, like,
it don't matter where we go.
It don't even matter how long we're gonna be there. If we know the people, we know how food for us, we'll just bring a snack or something, some water with us.
Yeah.
If we don't know what the stuff's gonna be, we already are gonna eat a balanced meal prior to that, just to make sure, or have one packed, like a lunch.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that we're not gonna pass out, because you can pass out if you don't have all the food you need.
I mean, I've never passed out.
I get lightheaded.
Oh,
I have gotten lightheaded before from not eating because I didn't have what I needed.
Yeah.
But that was also, too, before we learned how to make a solid plate.
Yeah.
You already knew how, because you were already working out a lot.
Yeah, I was already, like, working out, and when I started working out, I started paying more attention to, like, the ingredients. It was funny because before we even switched to being vegan, vegetarian, or just plant-based in general.
And this was our first fight.
Yeah, this is the first fight. I was up to, you need to look at the ingredients. If it's 50 ingredients in it, you don't need it. So then we would go to Walmart. I picked up a Lunchable. I said, look, here's this Lunchable. Look at the ingredients. She was pissed. So
I was like, the audacity.
I'm sorry.
But now when I pick up ingredients, I don't like for them to have 50 ingredients now.
I don't like picking up anything that has like 80 ingredients. It's a whole bunch of scientific words. Like, if it got more than 10, I'm kind of like, no.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, and
if I don't see water in there at all, I'm like...
Yeah, and the thing is, too, is that, like, you know, the first three are, like, it's like 75% of what's in there. And, like, if you see sugar in the top three, it's like, oh my God, this is like, it's just nothing but just a lump of sugar, you know, and then it's lump of sugar, scientific words, and then, you know, Red 13. It's like, we ended up looking at the ingredients more. We ended up looking at the macros and micronutrients more. Now we feel like we're just balanced, you know, all the time, just because we look at all these nutrients. And mind you, you're not going to be able to hit every single nutrient in every single meal. But as long as you like keep it in rotation and keep cycling through these different meals and stuff like that, then you should be good.
The way that I feel like I learned how to do it, one, it taught me how to cook even more.
Yeah.
I could cook soul food. I could cook, like, you know, the things that people grew up cooking. But I didn't understand. I was like, how do you make a mushroom taste good? Because they don't taste good.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what? So I had to really understand, like, you know, how to marinate food, how to season, how to not over season. Because, like, making soups and things, you can over season a soup on accident. It's like, ew, you know? But what helped me transition and building my plate to where I don't feel, to where I could feel full, there we go, is I just started playing with the rainbow.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, how many colors can I fit on this one plate?
Right.
And believe it or not, if you put all different colors on the plate and then add like a grapeseed, like some kind of oil, you probably will feel full.
Yeah, more than likely, you'll feel full.
It's kind of our rule of thumb. I don't know why. I mean, I do understand that everything has their own nutrients, why they have their own color and whatever. But if you don't know where to start, I think trying to just put every color you can on a plate helped me stop thinking so hard about it.
Yeah. I think another thing, too, is that, like, eating this way has helped me stop demonizing fat.
Yes.
In our culture, we're very fat conscious, trying to not be fat, trying not to eat things that are so greasy, trying not to eat things that have so much fat inside of it. But when you switch to being plant-based, you need all those fats. Like, every single thing that you eat more than likely doesn't have fats because it's a plant. And plants are mostly made out of carbohydrates.
Yeah.
So now you have to input fats into your diet. And the way that you do that is by using like oils, whether it's like olive oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil,
Or just actual avocado.
or just actual avocado. You know, and fats are good for you because they help the transportation of the nutrients from your stomach to like your organs, your muscles, your tendons, fibers, like all of that stuff.
You'd be surprised how you could say you'll eat a salad and then maybe some type of rice or something, or like a maybe quinoa. Let's do my husband, I guess. Salad, quinoa, mushrooms, and maybe like a potato or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You could eat that and maybe not feel full. You add some olive oil in there, some grapeseed oil, or some kind of fat, even like an avocado itself. Instantly, you feel satisfied immediately.
Yeah.
And before, we always saw fat-free.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Yeah, fat. It was like fat-free.
Diet culture.
Yeah.
But now we need fats.
Yeah, fats are very important to your diet, even though like our culture says like it's not. But it only says it's not because it's like the meat is like very fatty. It has a lot of fat in it already by itself. So since the meat has a lot of fat in it by itself, you don't need extra fats and stuff in there.
And it's cooked with grease.
So it's like fat on top of fat. You know what I'm saying?
Full.
Right. So you feel full. One of the hacks, I'm not gonna say a hack, but something that we just learned transitioning to being plant-based is that like you have to make sure that you are intentional about adding fats to your diet. Because there was a couple times where we would eat something and we're like, I feel like I'm missing something here. You know, I just feel like my body's lacking something. We put some
And I got really skinny.
Yeah.
I got really skinny at one point because I was like, I don't understand. I mean, I know I'm not eating meat anymore, but like, I'm like skinny.
Yeah, and
we added more oils.
Yeah, added more oils, added more fats to our diet, and then
now I'm thick.
She been thick, but
people actually are shocked because they're like, "How are you like curvy and you don't eat meat?" And I think it's because we balance our plate the same way we would balance a plate if we worked out while eating meat.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, or maybe just a little bit differently because
different, but like we have the micros and macros.
Yeah, like we're more nutrient forward about our food as opposed to just eating things just to get the calories. You know, because a lot of times, at least what I've heard, you know, in our culture is like, you know, make sure you get this amount of calories. Make sure you get over 2,000 calories a day, or if you weigh this amount, make sure you get this amount of calories. But I mean, calories are important, but it's not just about calories. It's like making sure you count your proteins, carbs, fats, and then throwing in them nutrients and those vitamins and minerals and stuff inside of it also to make sure you feel like your body's getting exactly what it needs. Because a lot of times I'll feel like a vague want of something after eating. I'm sure you've experienced it where you eat a bag of chips and you know you feel something in your stomach, a little satisfied, but then there's like a vague sense of lack of something in the air. A void that's just not being filled because the chips didn't do it. And what's happening is that the chips, they do got calories, they do got proteins, carbs, and fats, but they don't have the nutrients that your body needs, and that your body's like screaming for them, and that's why you feel that void. So yeah, so we're just talking about these things because a lot of our friends and family, they're asking us like, hey, you know, how's the vegan vegetarian thing going? And we're just like, it's going well, you know. So they're wanting to know like, how are you looking like you're fit, and how is she thick, you know, on this diet? And people are asking us these questions, so we decided to make a video about it. You know, here's our.
How are we maintaining this long? I think the first 2 years they were like, you know, maybe we won't even last, but now we're going on like 7.
Yeah, going 7, 8 years
and
now.
Maybe 8 years about not eating meat. So now they're like, oh, so this works for you.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? So a lot of people, not even just our family and friends, say that. So this, I guess, is just step one of sharing what we did, and we have a lot to say.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
I mean, we have a lot of experience. We've been plant-based for about 6, 7. And I can't even count because we've been together we've been plant-based for the majority of our relationships since we've been together. And we've been together about 7, 8 years now.
Yeah.
So at least 6. At least 6 years we've been plant-based.
At least 6.
At least 6. So we've been plant-based at least 6 years. So we have a little insight as to how to go about being plant-based, how to transition if you are looking into transitioning, or if you just look interested in, you know, what this lifestyle can do for you. We got some insight, you know, and some know-how.
And we have recipes. Cause we cook every day.
We cook every meal.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Minus like
And you know, sometimes we'll go to Walgreens, get us a nice little
pizza.
little baked pizza, you know, or two. Outside of that,
We cook everything.
yeah, we cook all the time.
So I mean, if you want to learn what we would make like this instead of that, you know, we could do that because we've done everything.
Yeah, we've even baked cakes that were like mostly alkaline as well.
Have it all if you want it.
Yeah.
So let us know. We can make
Right.
recipes. We could cook with you all. We could just have a chat. We could show you, you know, what we eat in a day.
Mhm.
Whatever you want, let us know.
Yeah, we're here for you guys.
But on that note, hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see how this series goes, if it's a series at all.
Yeah.
We'll see what this takes us. So
Thanks for joining us again. As always, we love you all. Have a blessed day.
have a blessed one. Mwah.